recovering from catching the Rona, but GOT7 are back. They are one of my ults, so I have to just ginger my body and trick it into thinking that I'm perfectly fine, and hopefully that will actually work. The fact that this moment is actually here is too much for me to like just sit around my house like coughing and yeah. I did watch the fan meet and I've put some of those parts on Patreon. It was just emotional. It's emotional, isn't it? Like actually having them back, so it is emotional, that's all I can say. Just because when I got into them, I then like experienced their first comeback, but I experienced it kind of expecting them to finish their contract, and the whole thing, I hadn't been in like K-pop for long, so the whole thing is that once a group leaves their company, like that's it, or you know, they have their 7-year period and that's it. So I experienced that comeback very uneasy. So yeah, I'm happy that they actually did it. They kept their promise. Oh wow, this is, he wrote this song, didn't he? I think he creates songs that match his tone. That's what it is. Like, he's very good at understanding his tone. No, this song! I'm sorry, it's the ad-libs as well. He's doing, yeah. Oh! No. If this is a B-side, Yugam is really impressing me, I'm sorry. His voice, his solo period, has really allowed him to improve his voice, because I don't know if I've heard him sound so good. He says, tell me it's true, and then we get the sound as if it's rewinding, and then he says it again, so like it enhances the repetition of that point that like, please tell me. I need distribution for the ad-libs as well. Jackson took like some main vocalist part. Ooh, that's high. I'm sorry, I'm going back to the way he said beloved. It's like, it's not just beloved, like you are beloved, but it's also the way he said it is like a command, like you need to know, you need to be loved. He's nervous because of where he wants to take it, and obviously talking about the moon and how like, well, from what the way Bam Bam was singing, like it's sounding very desperate, very like full of feelings, full of emotion. And then there's fear how Young Jae would have directed them to sing it as well, because to me, this is all coming together with the lyrics and the way that they're singing it. Oh, no, that sound is beautiful. Oh yeah. Is he getting the final points? Mark's singing voice is different every time I hear it. Every single time, I don't know what to expect from it, and I quite like that. Let me know. Ooh! Ah! That was shot. I actually forgot that it was at this point in the playlist. Oh, wow. I've got a message. 나 지금 심심해 난 말이 부 내 손이 바빠. Oh no, It's already. Oh. JB can create songs. I'm sorry. The confidence of this man. Look at him. This is, I'm killing it as a solo artist. Look at him. Oh my God. Oh. Nah, going solo was excellent for him. Oh, the dancers. That's what's interesting about this, that we're actually getting them together after they've all done solo stuff. So we have an understanding of what they choose when they're solo, and it's so different from this. I feel like it's only really Bam Bam that I would say his solo stuff and this is really similar, like in terms of visually. Like in terms of the song, I think, I mean, it's R&B, it's like JB style, Yugyum style, like a lot of them keep with that. Oh, GOT7's new home. So that's what it is. This is their new house. Do you know what I love about this choreo as well? That like it's very light, it's fun. It's very smooth, like in the movements that we're getting. So Mark is looking at me. Okay. In the movements that we're getting, and lots of their choreos before, there are elements of it that are very significantly focused on their hands and hand movements and like quick footwork. And at times, to me anyway, it's felt as if like you can literally see them moving into each move, like making the choice to move into each move. Like some of it didn't feel as flowy to me because of like the heaviness on like this crazy kind of like handwork and crazy footwork. So I like that this is a lot more mellow, because even when they've had mellow songs, they still go to town with all of the like intricacies, and like that works sometimes, of course, but I'm just saying like there are times where to me I felt much more like I'm watching a performance rather than just feeling like it was natural. So it's nice to see that the choreography here, when they've got ownership and control, is just a lot more fluid. It's a lot more instinctual. Yeah, it makes sense. Oh, he's like a fairy. Okay, let's start talking about imagery. So obviously we've got that dream like nature. It almost feels as if, so like if I was picking a song for them after what they've been through, I would have picked something that is a lot more about, I mean, the fact that it's GOT7 is our name, I'd pick something that's very much more about like victory, like we got it, something that's maybe has like some sharp moments that are not dissy, but you know, very like bold statements. I'd pick that. I wouldn't necessarily have gone, like in my mind, I wouldn't have thought this. And I think it's interesting because there's a lot of anger with AHGASE about how they've been treated. It's interesting that they've come out with this dreamlike state and this house upon the hill. And we've got the peacock, which I think is kind of representing them as well, but the like feathers are down. So it's it contains all of the like boldness, the beauty, the power, all of that, but it's not showing it at that point in time. And I just feel like it's almost like saying to us, like, just chill out. Like, they have ascended above all of the like negativity. They're above it all. And they're talking about all the working hard. That's like the things that they were doing in this period so that they could meet us again, and so that they could meet us as like, you know, really strong soloists. And Bam Bam section, him, it feels like there's a link to social media and them communicating with us in this period and all of those kinds of things. I just feel like it definitely is that message that they have ascended to this, you know, higher place, and we should just be calm, comfortable, happy. They look happy. They're surrounded by flowers that are blooming and colourful and beautiful and bright. The future's bright, and we should just feel it. We should just feel that like it's a new chapter. And I just think it's so amazing that they would choose to transition into this new chapter with beauty and love and not like disses. I'm not gonna lie, like I really wanted some I wanted some disses, but I feel like this is more of a impactful message to me, that like it's not about that. Like, look at where we are now. And I'm really proud of them. I feel very proud of them. Nah, visuals or choreo. Oh, he created life. Voice, and he has a baby bird. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm getting emotional about a bird. Oh my god. I just think it's, you know, the fact that I remember like the stress of feeling like they're gone. Like, I've just discovered this amazing group and it's just going to be stripped from me, and like I'm just not going to have it anymore at all. Like, that seemed like what it was. And then for like, there were lots of AHGASEs at the time that were just like, no, hold on, they promised us, don't worry. But like, I have, as a new fan, I have no context. Like, if a group says trust us, like, that doesn't mean a lot to me because I haven't had the context with them to be like, oh yeah, like they'll deliver on that. So I just I really wasn't holding my breath so that it wasn't difficult for me later down the line. And Jackson, my man, was really making it hard for me to believe that it would happen. Like, they would all say things, but he didn't. So I was like, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen without him? I'm not going to be happy about that. And it's just the fact that they've shown up so like brightly and beautifully. And JB like was, from the first time I saw him, was like, he just caught me in my bias, and he's holding the bird and the bird is just like moving around him. Oh, please tell me it's not just me that got emotional at that. Like, I feel the bond. I actually feel it. And it's mad to me that I can feel a bond with people that I don't talk to. And I can be so invested in their career and their happiness that when they put a representation of me, but me as a whole massive group, I can feel like it's personal. Oh, okay, this is mad. This is like, I've officially gone mad. and like his voice at this point, and him saying like this part about well, no, not that part. The part after that about opening up the roads, like all the barriers, and he's the leader. Like he literally must have been instrumental in reducing or removing all of the barriers so that we could have this moment. And he's telling us that we're part of that. Oh, Jackson! Come on! Oh, the bird is flying to all of them. Oh wow, they look good. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about the turns. I just like how they are all turning, and I think it's kind of symbolism of them being their individual identities, but yet him as the leader is like walking forward, but they're all turning one by one. Because they're soloists now. This choreo is the best. This is them. This is just them, free, comfortable, how they want to be. Oh, and it's from his heart. Oh, and there's I Got 7 at the bottom as well. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's just really beautiful. And I like also how even the word NANANA, it's like it's full circle as well. And it's almost feels like that's what they're saying, that it's full circle, like it's a new start. The beginning and the last chapter, it's all still part of the same thing. Like we shouldn't just discount anything that went before. Like it's all still part of the same thing. They're full circle. And it's interesting, like, so it reminds me of Lullaby, but Lullaby, they were very colourful, but their surroundings were not. And them and the surroundings are very colourful. There's colour, there's beauty, there's brightness in both them and their surroundings, so their situation. And we got, like, in Lullaby, there were lots of, like, singular moments, whereas we get the singular, but there's a lot more them together. And, yeah. Oh, Young Jae's face. Oh, wow! Oh. I love these pictures. But his voice sounds distant. Is this gonna be like a breakup sad song? Oh my gosh, like oh. Ooh, runs, hello. Is it his fault? I don't say that as a pun, I just realised the relationship has some sort of distance. So like from the beginning, the fact that we're getting a whole instrumental intro like sets a scene for some level of depth. Oh, I like he got the bridge. Come on, consistent. Oh. No, okay. In terms of Bam Bam's parts of NANANA, this is the best that I've heard him. I think the melody suits his style so well here. Nice! Come on! These rappers! Oh! Listen, the way he came in! Oh, yeah! Mark starting? Come on! Oof, man, his tone. Ooh. Come on, that was nice. Like those instruments just make it bright. The sounds. Oh, Mark. Oh, I wouldn't be here. Oh, Jin Young is the perfect person to have this hook. Clear. Because at the beginning, Mark is talking about having tears in his eyes and his eyes being cloudy, and then now through the whole like, you know, like confession of don't leave me alone, I'm, you know, I couldn't be anywhere without you, that like declaration of love, it's now the tears have cleared up, the eyes are clear, and we're walking side by side. And the call and response for like the audience to then, because like they're making the declaration of don't leave me alone, and then they're leaving that part, the response part, for fans in like a live version, or I mean you can say it when you're sitting at home listening to it, but to respond to that declaration. That's beautiful. It really reminds me of when I was watching the fan con, how at the end like JB was talking about, I think it was at some point, they said goodbye so many times, I can't remember if it was actually the end, but where JB was talking about like another group, like there's other groups, you know, support them as well, and the rest, especially Young Joe, was just so surprised by it. We're like, no, how dare you have to only support us.